Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm Ashley Live, your host, and this is episode 70. Oh, there was glitter in there, but glitter and confetti, and it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. But anyway, episode 70 is here. I'm so excited. It's going to be a phenomenal show. We have Maya Piata here. She's a singer, songwriter, guitarist, based in Dallas. She's spiritual. She's down to earth. She's incredible. She calls her music genre Sunshine Soul, and I'm very excited to bring her to the room. Once again, this is episode 70. It's episode 70, and I just want to thank everybody for supporting me thus far. I have 69 incredible musicians that I interviewed previously, so if you missed any of these episodes, please go back on my Instagram or go to my website that officially launched yesterday, ashleylivemusic.com, and you can watch any episode that you missed. They're all on there, and it's really exciting. I've had singers, songwriters, bassists, guitarists, pianists, and I guarantee you that any episode that you watch, you're gonna find at least 2 or 3 musicians that you become major fans of. So thank you guys so much for your support, and it's gonna be an awesome night. So tonight, before Maya pops in the room, I always share a song lyric. And tonight's song is gonna be I'm Every Woman, that was written in 1978 by legendary singer-songwriter duo Ashford and Simpson. I'm doing the Chaka Khan version, not the Whitney version, even though Whitney did her own rendition of it. I can cast a spell with secrets you can't tell, mix a special brew, put fire inside of you. But anytime you feel danger or fear, instantly I will appear. Like I said, that's I'm Every Woman by legendary songwriter duo Ashford and Simpson. And the reason I shared that is because Maya and I were going to have a great time. Hi, Jarrell. Jarrell was actually one of my guests. I don't know what episode Jarrell was on, but please, guys, like I said, this is episode 70. So please go back and look at all my previous episodes because they're phenomenal, and I have incredible musicians that have come on the show. Please make sure to support all my musicians, whether that's following them, buying their music, supporting their live streams, just following their creative journey. So we are going to hang tight and wait for Maya to pop in the room. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate your support. Hello, hello. Yes, Maya will be joining us shortly. So a little bit about Maya. Her second EP, Vernal, was released in 2018, and that means Spring Awakening. Her single, Same Way, was inspired by Chromeo and Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody. So if you haven't heard Maya's music yet, please go on streaming platforms, go to her website, and please support her musical journey. And that's perfect timing because Maya is in the chat. Whenever you are ready, feel free to come on in and we'll get this interview started. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys are staying safe and having a wonderful evening. There she is.
Yo, hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm great. I'm awesome. How are you, my sis?
I'm doing well. Thank you, thank you. So I was just introducing you to the room before you came in. I was telling
that. Nice job.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So I actually start a song lyric the beginning of every show, and I was talking about I'm Every Woman by Chaka Khan. So that song means, because I know you're very inspired by her.
I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want now, baby, I do it naturally. Whoa, whoa. I need to have a picture of Chaka Khan somewhere on here.
You do, because I know.
For real.
Yeah. So
I love that song. To me, that song means a lot to me, actually. It allows me to be a more vibrant, a more multi-dimensional version of myself. It allows me to be creative, or it kind of gives me permission to be creative and that's something that I felt in my life a lot, especially as a young woman and as a child, feeling like I need permission to do certain things. And that's why I take like the title of songwriter and writer or artist really, really seriously, because these words are so powerful and you don't know who they'll reach and what they'll be able to do with it. So it's important about what we talk about. I love that song, and that song guides my mind to Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou,
Yeah.
who my parents, my father named me after Maya Angelou, and talking about being a phenomenal woman is. So if you haven't read that, hi Layla, if you haven't read that poem, I encourage you to go ahead and get some juice up. I'm sure our men need to go ahead and listen to those songs and read that poem and see like how wonderful it really is to be a woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We need reminders, because it'd be hard out here for a princess. Yes.
Yeah, we need to remind them. And I love that you said that you were named after Maya. That is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I was named after Maya Angelou, and then my middle name, Piata, what came from my grandmother in New Zealand, Piata, and that's an inherited name through our women in our tribe all the way up to my great-grandfather, who was the chief of our tribe, Tuwharetoa. So it's really, really important. It means shining glory. Yeah. The essence of a name, like Shakespeare, what is a name? It really carries a lot of weight, and it's a huge honor, like a crown. Mm-hmm. Speaking of crown, this is an awesome, super dope brand out in LA. It's my family, so I wanted to represent. This is Champagne Champions. So, boom, crown. There we go.
I love it. So it's April, and it's International Guitar Month. As a guitarist,
yeah,
who inspires you?
Ooh, as a guitarist, Slash.
Yes.
Slash, because I know that he worked through a lot of trials being a mixed race, and also he worked with Michael Jackson on some tracks that like mean a whole bunch to me. I think he's iconic, and his look was really iconic too, or is really iconic too. Another person that inspires me as far as guitar goes, I have to give an homage to an artist who inspired me a lot in high school. His name is Alan Stone, and I actually got to meet him and sing with him and touch base and get to know him and his team and his band, and they really gave me a nice like blueprint of what being an artist is. I snuck into a college, my college, UTD, before I even went there, to see him performing in like the cafeteria for like 75 people, and not long after, he was opening up for Stevie Wonder in France for 10,000 people, and he gave the same performance. So that was really awesome. I actually have a song where he inspires me so much. One of his songs, the song that I sang with him at the cafeteria that I snuck into, I used those chords to write my own song, because I don't know all the chords and all the things, but one of the things that I can do is like we create and then when we recreate. Like one of my favorite collage is Eugenia Lawley, and one of the reasons why I really revere her is because you can see a couple of her pieces here or so, like this one. These two are some of my favorite. But she took not original images, and she made that clear. She said, you know, none of these images are mine, but I compiled them into something that's mine. Right. And I thought that was really cool because, you know, it kind of gives me, again, permission to build off of what's already been done and then expand in my version. But yeah, I used those chords from one of his songs, The Bed I Made, to accompany the lyrics that I wrote for a song that I wrote, which is still unreleased. And it's crazy because it sparked a huge like turn in my career, called If You Do, which I performed at a So Far show, my very first So Far show, and it launched like so much.
Yeah.
But the last person that inspires me for guitar, I'd have to say I taught myself how to learn how to play the guitar when I was 11, after I saw a group of Maoris, which are New Zealanders, indigenous New Zealanders, like me and my mother. They came to perform. They were doing a tour, much like my mother did when she came to the States. They were doing a show in San Antonio, and so what they do is they get dressed up in Maori garb, and they sing indigenous songs and perform indigenous dances. And that's how my mother came to America. And she did in Alaska. She started in Alaska, and they had a whole tour through the Indian reservations and blah, 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 all the way down to New Orleans, which is where I was born.
Yeah.
They went out to like Bourbon to celebrate the end of the tour, and at the club they were at, that's where they met. My dad was at the same club, like celebrating a cousin's birthday, and so like, you know, everybody was out, everybody was celebrating, and they fell in love there. So, you know, anyways, that's my background story. But when I saw this group of talented individuals, talented, beautiful individuals, performing and their voices ringing, we went back because my mom got to reconnect with one of her friends who was running the group now, a person that they were in the group together. She was running the group now. My dad was like, y'all got a place to stay, got the group a hotel, so we're all staying together. At this time I was 11. And since they were celebrating, everybody got beers and stuff, and I fell in love with everybody who was there. But obviously I couldn't hang out while everybody was drinking, so it was me and my little brother in a separate room. But they started drinking, and as is Maori way, and as is Black like way, when we get together and we start incorporating music, and we have people that we love, and we have something joyous just being together, they broke out a little bit of booze and a guitar. And I was there like peeking through the door because I didn't want to go to sleep. I'm trying to party. Like, I'm trying to get to know my people, you know? And I'm there peeking through the door, and it was a man. His name was Arona, and he was the guitarist. And when he the whole group just erupted like a volcano, like the voices erupted. And I remember, even when, if you're in church and you feel those, we got some hearts because you guys know what that feels like.
Yeah.
When you're swallowed by sound so pure and joyous and true and just amazing. And I was hexed, I was hit, I was so enthralled by what was happening. And I realized it was the man with the guitar who was the mitochondria of the whole situation. He was the powerhouse. You know, he was the one who chose the songs. It was the tempo. He was not only like the background and support, but he was the conductor. And I said, I want that power too. So I went home from San Antonio. I told my dad, I said, I want to learn guitar.
Yeah.
He said, bring me good grades and I'll get you one. So, you know, I had to get them straight A's, deliver them fresh off the plate, got me my guitar and started learning off of YouTube. But I would definitely say that my Maori people are my biggest influence for the guitar. It's so much a part of our culture. And Arona also told me that Maoris don't play with picks. So, you know, that's actually been like a main thing that I held on to, just that little piece of advice so that I could be a true Maori.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So how would you describe the music that you create?
I describe the music that I create as sunshine soul. Yeah, I describe it as sunshine soul because the sun is bright and it's happy and it's warm. It can burn because it's so powerful. And then I use my soul because I also pull from like really deep chasms of my experience, of my life, of my feelings. Like I have very, very deep wells of feelings that I pull from. So incorporating those, it's like sun and rain. It's hot and cold weather, which turns into a hurricane.
Yeah.
Um, that's how I like to describe it.
I love it. When I first heard it was Sunshine Soul, I was like, oh, well, the brightness and the powerfulness of the sun. But then you think of some of the soul inspirations, right? Like an Alan Stone, Michael Jackson, Chaka Khan, Stevie, and I'm like, oh yes, I totally am. I rock with it.
It is a vibe. It's a whole vibe, and it's been really cool because it doesn't box me in either. I have full range. I have full range of, and I always feel like you're so right with Michael Jackson, and you're so right with Chaka Khan, Alan Stone too, Amy Winehouse, Lauryn Hill. Um, those are some of the artists that I feel like encapsulate me that I would love to call peers.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So walk us through your creative process when you're writing a song.
Okay, so when I'm writing a song, I've been doing a lot of collaborating lately.
Nice.
So lately it'll be like, there'll be somebody making a beat and I'll turn to whoever is in the room and we'll be like, okay, what are we talking about? And then
Mhm.
they'll spit something out, or I'll just start with something that's on my heart. Really, it'll be a thought. It'll be, I'm, I'm getting into a rhythm of writing every day.
Good. That's
So
awesome.
yeah. And so with that, it just comes from like, what was something that I can talk about today? What
Mhm.
was something that really made me feel a reaction, or what something that I want to respond to?
Yeah.
So taking those talking points, or what's something that I wish I would have said to somebody today in a conversation that I held back on, let me allow myself a chance at least to throw up on this paper instead of having like word throw up to this person, and maybe I could edit what I'm saying, or arrange the words in a way that actually gets my point across. And then it's such a blessing to be a singer songwriter because I take this vocabulary, uh, I create a message, and then I'm able to put feeling in it with my voice, and actually like the nonverbal tone when we're having conversation
Yeah.
is so important. I could be like, "Hey Ashley," or I could be like, "Hey Ashley,"
Yeah.
or I could be like, "Hey Ashley." Same words,
Right.
total from one. One is "Hey joyous." One's like a little petty, little fake.
Yeah.
One's like, "Hey, I need something from you." Same words, different tones. That's the same with the voice, and being able to like create a whole vibe, a whole feeling, a whole wave. It's the same thing with dance, and be able to like, um, you know, emit this message, emotion
Mhm.
to a listener, to the audience. Um, so my writing process, and then lately I've been having a lot of fun with um, rapping and testing my freestyles and getting into some like disses, like some diss tracks when I'm feeling like somebody needs to be. Yeah, I know, it's so fun, and it's fun for me because it's new, and I grew up like, I've never said this in an interview, but I grew up with a whole bunch of. She gets the message, but it's on the calendar. but I grew up with a whole bunch of boy cousins, and so what we would do at That's my phone. 20%. A lot like I was saying, with my Maori side, how we get together, start music, maybe a little alcohol is involved, but everybody's feeling good just to be together and there's all that joy. That's how it was growing up in New Orleans. And then even when we transitioned to Texas, we made sure that we were still getting together as a family. But all the boys and all the cousins, we would just get together, gather in our oldest cousin's room, whose ever house it was, go to a car or something, and then all the boys would just turn on a beat on YouTube, dum, 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 dum. Even when we just had a pencil or a pen, and they would start freestyling, ripping on each other, talking about whatever, talking about cartoons, and it was fun. At that point, I didn't participate. Like, they would all be like, come on, Maya, what you got? And I'd be like, my name is Fire. Oh, my name is Fire. And I do something silly like that, and we'd all laugh it off. But and go in, and my brother, my little brother, who's taller than me now, he's my little big brother now, but my big little brother, I'm sorry. He was, from the get-go, but especially when he was about 9, like a lyrical genius, and seeing him go off, like, just, it was amazing to see what was in his mind and how quick his tongue was, how quick his wit was. That was real cool. And him being inspired by our big cousins, now I get to inspire my little cousins, and I get to inspire my family, and they support me in that way. But it's been really cool to start flirting with those areas of myself. Again, going back to Chaka Khan saying, I'm every woman. Really what that's saying is I can do it. I can do this if I want to, if I decide to, So that's been fun, flirting with it. It's been really cool. Like, the people that I'm writing with and collaborating with, there's really no room for fear. Like, there's actually no room for fear because there's so much coolness, there's so much happiness, there's so much acceptance happening, there's so much, like, free range, whereas like, really we're just having fun, which is how it's supposed to be. And at a point I was fearful because I'm the type of person, and it's a perfectionist tendency to like hold on until it's ready, to hold on until it's ready to share. Yeah, we got some hearts in the thing. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. But allowing my tongue to just, like, go. I was also studying an amazing vocalist. If somebody knows Lisa B. Her last name escapes me at the moment, but she was a background singer, and then she became her full, her own artist career took off. But one of the things that she said, I was watching some of her interviews because I love to study the greats, obviously. Wonder Woman up here, great. Mike, come on, babe. Say, she said that the voice and the tongue when I'm singing, to get into more of that spirit, to really be in a term that I learned yesterday was your zone of genius. And I think that's just when you're at your best. But one of those things to thwart the fear is to think of my voice as a feather on the wind. And as it drifts, it's going where it goes and where it's supposed to go. And even when it lands there, like, it's never resisting it. It's just going with it, Yeah. Having that mental picture, that visual picture in my mind, whether I'm in a session, whether I'm in the booth at, literally recording right then, whether I'm behind my guitar with my piece of paper, or on stage, I like to think of that, and it makes me feel more That's funny. More in control, but more free, because I'm in control of my nerves and I'm free with my gifts and talents.
Ooh, I love that. And
Right.
the visuals, the feather,
Yeah.
like, ooh, I see that.
You know? And when
Yeah.
you see it, even when I'm hitting like a riff, I can think of it being like, okay, big gust of wind, and then it, like, then it will triple, and then it might hold and flow, you know, and like being
Yeah.
able to see it in my mind's eye.
I love that.
You feel
So
me?
you've been fortunate to play quite a few So Far Sound show, and I love the whole concept of So Far Sounds. I think it's so cool that they go to like all these random venues, all these areas all across the world. But I want you to shed some light on what this means for fans and for fans to see you and kind of just give a little insight into what So Far Sounds is and how
Sure.
you did quite a
So,
few shows with them.
yeah, I have. I've been really, really lucky to do a couple shows in multiple cities of Texas. And Dallas, Fort Worth, went to a So Far show in Austin, and
Mm-hmm.
I've actually I've seen, so what So Far shows are is they're intimate intimate showcases of local artists and megastars. Like it was really funny. I saw when I was doing research, and when I became privy to it, I had seen a couple of my peers doing So Far shows, and I was like, man, that means that I can do it. It's
Yeah.
international. There's So Far Shanghai, there's So Far Dallas, there's So Far Seattle, and there's So Far New Orleans. That's where I got turned on to Tank and the Bangers. And then I believe at Seattle in a bike shop, there were people who were trying to get more people. There were the volunteers who were trying to get more people into the show, because they were telling people like, Ed Sheeran is in this bike shop. And we
Yeah.
were like, okay, like, all right, bro, good joke. You know, it's like being like, yo, Drake is in this ice cream shop right now singing, like doing a set.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it when they opened it. So there's megastars involved too. But what it is it's actually a secret community of music lovers. And so you say, hey, I want to go to this showcase. I want to attend a live music event. And then the day of, they'll tell you where the address is, and then when you arrive, you see who the artists who have been curated are. And it's so cool, because it's like going to a chef pop-up where the chef gets to curate what's going to be served, and you just go and you just enjoy what's going to be prepared for you. When I began my music career, I got turned on to So Far, and I was like, man, I really want to do this. As an artist, you can apply. Hey, Colette, as an artist, you can apply to perform, and I wasn't getting picked, and I was like, man, that means I need to up my game, you know, I need to get on it. And so what did I do? I upped my game. Eventually I got, you know, reached back out to, they're like, hey, we'd love to have you on this date. I turned to my partner at the time, and I was like, my producer at the time, and I was like, man, we got it. He's like, sick. So we're getting ready. We went through, you know, everything. We show up at the event. It was literally in somebody's house, you know, in somebody's living room. I did a So Far show in a furniture store, like in Fort Worth. It was in a furniture store, literally a bike shop. It's wonderful to see the audience. This was pre-COVID. It was wonderful to see the audience, and it's so diverse. You don't know where you're gonna be. You know, right. You can bring your own BYOB, bring a blanket to sit on, have your cardigan that you can sit on and just enjoy yourself. Bring a friend. And my first So Far show, they say you can either get, you know, paid monetarily or get paid with a video. I wanted that So Far video. I was like, that So Far video is way more valuable than cash to me right now.
Yeah.
And I sang it. The reactions are just so beautiful. I love intimate shows because you're really the focus and the intention is on the music.
Right.
And so it's intentionally, you know, about that. There's the distractions are minimized, and there's so much respect in the So Far show rooms, from the audience to the coordinators, to the volunteers, to the artists. And I got to share some unreleased music and some released music that I got to pause. I just want y'all to know, Best Grandma on Earth is on here right now. What's happening, mama? Mwah, mwah, mwah. That's my girl. What's up, Red? But yeah, that's my grandma. Represent. But on that show, it was so beautiful, and it changed my life. It changed my career. I got to meet my agent, who was just volunteering that day at the So Far show, and I had a book with me. I used to walk around to my shows because they were much smaller. Hey, everybody say hi to Grandma. Grandma! Yes! Wow, this is life. I could cry. This is life. But anyways, represent family. What's more important, man?
Yeah.
I used to walk around with this notebook that I would take to shows, and I would pass it through the audience, and I'd be like, you know, if you have a dad joke that you want to share today, go ahead, write it down. I love dad jokes. Hi, mama. She just commented, hi, my baby. But then, Grandma, stick around for the Q&A section if you got any questions for me. Yeah, so I had this notebook, and I'd pass it around, and I would be like, hey, you know, today I feel like, you know, I think let's laugh. Everybody write a joke, dad joke if you got it, and I'll read the best one on the mic. Or, you know, today I'll just be like, I leave a love note, you know, leave a piece of advice or something, and I wrote it around. I gave it around, or people could come up, and I actually found the note from my booking agent from the day that we met, and she wrote, like, Maya, she said, I'm obsessed with you and your voice. I'm gonna stalk all your shows so that I can know where you're gonna be. And lo and behold, she's booking my shows, so yeah, she knows where I'm gonna be. Yeah, she's stalking me. And you know, I give so much credit to her and my team, and like building it up. Like I could go on and on, but I'm trying to focus on the So Far. It's a beautiful place, and I'm so happy that it exists for artists and for music makers and music lovers alike to really have a one-to-one authentic experience in life, and also to have a hub online, like much like Tiny Desk or Color Studios, to be able to see artists in their element in their city or whatever city they're in. Like, I could play a So Far Shanghai if I got picked and I'm in China, and then I'm introduced to that community. How sick.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'd love to do a So Far tour. That was something that I was like really trying to put together and flirting with before the pandemic. But you know, now as the world is opening up, I got fully vaccinated now, so I'm feeling more confident to go out and take these shows, even though I've been performing like through the entire pandemic. I'm really excited to go ahead and start booking more shows, start getting on the road, start, you know, checking out new cities and going home to New Orleans, definitely going back to New Zealand, and wherever the wind takes me, like, I'm trying to go. And if I score some So Far shows, like, I'm picking them up.
Yeah. I think that's so important to an artist's career, because like you said, it is a specific community. Like my mom,
mine, it was a pivotal moment in mine.
Yeah, my mom actually introduced me to So Far shows because she's like huge on YouTube, and she's like, oh, do you know what So Far Sounds is? I'm like, no. So she told me about it, and then it's like you go into this like you're like, oh yeah, so far Shanghai, or so far Seattle, or so far Dallas, and then you just see all these incredible performances, and you're like,
Right.
incredible.
Totally. Who's some of your favorite performers that you've seen on so far that you got turned on to?
The thing is, I can't think of them off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but I mean, I've seen so many of them, and it's
For
just like,
sure.
the thing is, it's just because I love music so much,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just want to watch them. I'm just like into
Man,
the whole,
I know that Yeba's My Mind was a So Far show.
yeah.
My mind, my mind. That song is crazy.
Yeah.
Tank and the Bangas, they did You So Dumb. Hey, you so silly girl. You're waiting for a call. That's about a girl like around 4:30. I'm feeling so dumb. I'm feeling so naive. I'm feeling so young. It's about a girl who like they're broken up, or her dude is with another girl now, and she's not over the relationship, so she's like, I know what that feels like. Like, I know what that feels like. Another person is, I'm going to shout out my girl, Mecca. I know I saw her So Far Houston show, and I was like, yo, look at us achieving. And then I got my So Far show, and then Van Gammon. Van Gammon is actually an artist that we just did a concert together. It was his first concert since the pandemic hit, but it was at Southside Ballroom in the parking lot there at Gillies, and we did a drive-in showcase, and this was our first time being on the same bill, but I met him by being at a So Far show, and he was just one of the artists, and I was like, yo, I dig you. Like, you are on some consciousness, like some conscious lyrics,
Yep.
and like supporting the Black man community. Like, Black Boy Joy is him. And I think I actually went to that show possibly with my mom, and like we had like some little mini wines, and we knocked those back, and like he was there, and then to see him as an artist being around, I'm lying, we've done 2 bills together, but to see him around, it's like, it makes me feel more real and authentic, like I'm really doing it, because I'm a fan. Like, I was a fan first, and now we're homies, and we're also artists, like killing it on the same bill. So thank you so far. I was at this I told you this in soundcheck, but I was at this gig yesterday at the MLK Food Park, which is an installation. You guys, there's one more week left. It's in South Dallas. Make sure you guys go check that out. It is so beautiful. I was brought to tears by how excellent the pop-up was for the community, and for the people, and for the vendors that were involved. But as I was there hanging out, I'm talking to the founders and the organizers of Better Block, who is incorporating everything that's going on. I'm talking to them. I'm saying it's so great to see what's happening here in South Dallas. I would love to see something like this happening in my hometown of New Orleans, because like revitalizing the community, bringing something positive, bringing something lucrative to the community, something to engage us and stir our cultural pot. I'm talking to them about that, and here comes Carolina Armstrong, who was the organizer of So Far when I did my first shows, and she was like, hey, I was like, now it's a party. Now we got the bosses up in here, like, for real. I feel honored that I can speak and have conversations with these wonderful, wonderful women, with these wonderful business owners, business minds,
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's just, it's such a, it's kind of like when you were saying to me earlier that you saw her yesterday. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you brought it up. I just talked to her.
Bro, yeah, no, I'm like, I'm also a fan. I'm like, I love your work, like, I love what you do.
I love it. What song do you wish you wrote, and why?
Visions by Stevie Wonder. Why? Because he said the first lyrics are, people hand in hand, have I lived to see the milk and honey land?
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes in and he starts talking about, you know, I'm not one for make believe. I know that leaves are green. They only turn to brown when autumn comes around. And he's talking, what he's talking about is look, I see the state of the world. Like, I'm not delusional. And even he's blind, like, you know, obviously, but to hear him from my ears, especially at the age that I was when I was listening to the song, I was like, wow, you know, he does know that leaves are green. And that makes sense that, you know, things turn around. I was learning something about a person with disabilities, with blindness, not being able to see, but also being descriptive and having knowledge, of course, like common sense knowledge. But he was talking about, I'm not delusional about the state of the world, but I have hope and I have faith in a better world. You know, I have a vision for this better world. Mm-hmm. And that is definitely a song that I wish I wrote. It's also one of my favorite songs to listen to for the guitar part. Mm-hmm. The strings on it and the playing is immaculate. It puts me in a peaceful place. It puts me in a meditative place. It allows me to think of my paradise and how I envision the world. And it inspires me to continue to think that way and continue to dream that way, and then make my dreams a reality through action by making the change, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what, now I want to listen to that song. In fact, that I want to listen to that whole record. Oh, stop. My grandma commented. She said she's at my godmother's house, but she's finna leave. She love you, baby. We'll talk with you later. And isn't that a blessing? Like, that's wow, that is such a blessing. That's my final grandparent here on earth with us. Mm-hmm. And I lost I haven't said this publicly, but Piata, my Nana Piata, Cynthia, she passed on my birthday last year. So, and I was really happy that she came in 2020 before the pandemic. She got to see me perform. We spent time together. Both my grandmother from New Zealand and my grandmother from New Orleans were both in the same spot. That was my first time in my life seeing them together, because they live on different sides, on the opposite sides of the world. Yeah. And so to have them both there, sitting next to each other, front row, at my gig at Sundown at Granada, you know, it was the most important performance of my life, no matter what happens after this, because mm-hmm. those are my foremothers. With my mother and my father and my brother there, mm-hmm. that's the most important audience in my life. So everything after this is just, you know, like fun, because that's the most important thing. And I'm really truly blessed that I got to have that experience, that we got to have that time together, that we got to have that experience. And around October, I got chosen to fly out to Hollywood for American Idol. And so that was really, really exciting. And they were telling us, you know, like, record yourself talking to family as you're going out, and, you know, record your experience. And I got to talk to my Nana over like Facebook Messenger. Aww. While she was in New Zealand, and she was giving me her best wishes, and she was telling me, like, you know, your mother's voice was pretty and beautiful, but you're the next level. Like, your voice is powerful. Your voice is different. And I felt like I was being knighted by her, and, you know, like being crowned by her, especially from one Piata to the next, like, to mm-hmm. me, to pass that on. So yeah, she passed on my birthday last year, which was crazy, because I had just woken up from like my final art installation. I was doing a couple art pop-ups because I wanted to do what Better Block is doing by revitalizing the community. I wanted to incorporate some art and some like feminine energy into these spaces, and nurture some growth and some stimulation. Like, you know, I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do is grow where I'm planted. Like, my goal is to be able to bring a renaissance to New Orleans and like for us to rise there. So what can I do here, right? So I'm doing that, and not the wind out of me naturally, but I'm thankful for the life and spending this time. For all of us in the pandemic, we've been spending so much time being isolated naturally, right? Well, it's totally unnatural, but we have to,
So strange.
So strange. And I'm so familiar, like family oriented and tribal. Black communities and Maori communities are so tribal. By not being able to like hug and kiss on my family daily, it's very strange. So, but beyond that, like, I made sure that I was okay, and my grandmother she was the one who, when I was like breaking down and crying, she was the one to fly me out to California. I lived in New Orleans for about a month and some change with her in her house, like spending that quality time with her. And that was before my nana passed, but like my grandmothers, my foremothers, my mother are like, I am them.
Yeah.
To wrap it up in 3 words, I am them. And I could cry. I cry in every single interview, and I'm gonna do my damnedest not to do it this time.
Oh my gosh,
I'm laughing.
I
talking about my grandmother.
I hope I didn't make you cry, because the whole goal is to never make somebody cry during an interview. Like, it's like,
girl. Okay.
Oh my gosh. So talk to me about your American Idol experience.
Ooh, American Idol was definitely an experience. Can I be frank?
Yes, be as honest as you possibly can, because I've had people love it and I've had people hate it. So just put it on.
I loved it because all I had to do was 2 Zoom calls, and then I had an all expense paid trip, like flight, hotel. We stayed on the Walk of Fame at Hotel Roosevelt, food service, everything that was going on. Thank you. You got my hand claps up in here. You got my heart. It was really cool. So the way that it goes is, back in the day, you would go and you would sit in line for like days till you got the chance to audition.
Right.
In this particular case, I did a PR campaign for my last EP, Vernal. And so what that did was that put me in like a talent pool for some of these, like, unbeknownst to me, I actually did a segment where I got to sing for Fox and WFAA. Cool. So I think, it was really cool. It was really awesome. And even though I didn't get my videos back for that, I was like, where's my songs at? Because I wanted to share it, but the sharing like capability was not an option. But it was awesome to do for Fox, at least. And then for WFAA, I was in this commercial that ended up winning an Emmy. I was like, hell. And so, you know what I mean? And so thank you, Jordan Jones, amazing artist out here in the scene, cellist, come on, dear friend. But anyways, American Idol. So it put me in this talent pool, and then I started getting emails, and me and my booking agent would be looking at these emails, and it'd be like, hey, do you want to audition for, like The Voice? Do you want to audition for America's Got Talent? Do you want to audition for, we want you to audition for The Four when that show came out. We want you to audition for American Idol. And I kept getting these emails, and as like the first year that I got it, I was like, tight, like, what? They want me? Like, they're emailing me. What? And so, And so, like, we're going through it, and I was like, man, you know, I really don't think that I want to be on, like, a game show, though. Like, I'm trying to be authentic. I'm trying to say something, not necessarily be pinned or pegged as a belter because I look like Beyonce, or, you know, be pinned or pegged as, you know, some as a pop diva because because I look the part. Like, I'm trying to actually be me. So I don't know if this is the way that I want to go. So I never really pursued it or actually entertained the invitations, though I was honored. But this year, due to the pandemic, you know, I had just quit my corporate job to do this full time, which I'm still doing full time, and I'm really proud of myself for surviving and, like, doing it and, like, growing while lasting, expanding while struggling. But me and my agent, we were talking, and she said, hey, I think that this is something that somebody said hashtag originality, you feel me. But my agent said, I think that this is something that you should actually go for. Like, American Idol wants you to audition, and hey, Maddie, what's happening? And American Idol wants you to audition. There's 6.5 million people who watch, you know, so that's a huge platform for you. You might as well give it a go. I said, you know what? You're right. They've been reaching out for 3 years. You know, let's do it. And like I was saying, like, back in the day, you would sit for hours, and you, like, the anticipation would build for you to get your 90 seconds at a shot to stardom, right? And so here I am. I'm lounging much like this. I'm on a couch. No, I wasn't wearing this top. No. Hey, Space, what's happening? But it was just a Zoom call. Like, it was a 90-second Zoom call. I waited in for like 5 minutes. The executive producer came up. I got to sing a song for her. She's like, okay, cool, we'll let you know. In about a week's time, I advanced to the next stage. Another Zoom call. They're like, okay, awesome, we'll let you know. The next thing I know, they're like calling me for my story. They're like arranging for my flights. They're getting all of my information to start going. I'm like, man, all I had to do was sit on 2 Zoom calls, and now I'm about to have the experience of a lifetime, where it went from music is non-essential, music is non-essential, and, you know, I just quit my job. I quit my life-sustaining livelihood vocation to do this, to now I get like a week-long extravaganza that I couldn't afford by myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I get to meet Lionel Richie, and I get to meet Katy Perry for nothing, like for 2 Zoom calls, like, hey. So that was really amazing. It truly, truly was. What's up, everybody? I got out to, and then COVID, of course. So I had to make sure that I wasn't going to be positive and, like, miss out on this. So I was, you know, being extra careful, of course. Got flown out to Hollywood, met some dudes from Chicago who we're friends now. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Space. He said, you're going 4. As far as space, what planet, though? Comment what planet. And we were on the bus, and really these couple of dudes, like the people that we rode in from the airport to the bus, were the only people that I really got to talk to, because they had us on such confinement this time. You know, we had 5 days there. You wake up at 8 a.m. to be downstairs at 8:15 to get your temperature check, and then you're in your room for the whole rest of the time, for the whole day until tomorrow, until it's your time to audition.
Crazy.
You know, come to find out, I was in the last pod. I was one of the last 8 people on the final day to audition for the judges, which was cool for me. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I was in those rooms. The rooms were beautiful. And do some research on, like, Hotel Roosevelt and the people who have stayed there, like the stars who have stayed there. Yeah. I get to look out of my window and literally see the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And yeah, as I was you know, sitting in there and, you know, bougily pick up from, oh, I'm terribly famished. I need some sustenance. What do you have today? You know, like, and I'm doing these amazing things, just having a great time by myself. And I started thinking about, I got so much love from my family. Obviously, you know, I couldn't post it publicly because it had to. There was an NDA.
Yeah.
But I was telling my family about everything that was going on. They gave me well wishes. And if any artist has ever experienced creative block, you know, creative block, writer's block, at this particular time, especially under such stress, it can be really hard to be artistic and creative because you're so focused on making it to the next day, like living, like making it, being able to pay bills and whatnot, feed yourself. In this environment, I was just in my room, and it was like oil to the machine. It was like I would write from the time, and I'm not necessarily a morning person, but I had to be at COVID check at 8:15. Right. Then I'm up because I'm excited about the day, because I'm like, oh my gosh, one less day till it's my turn. Yeah. You know? And I'm in there, and I was just every second I would write and write and write, like breathing. Like it was like when you're crying uncontrollably and there's just tears coming. And it was like so amazing to be in that zone. There were so many ideas and so much material that's formulating now from that time period. So fast forward, have I lost you, Ashley?
No,
Okay. So finally it got to my day, and I was all nervous. I had my outfit picked out. You know, I was really excited, and by this time, and we could only eat or drink if we were downstairs and we didn't have our mask on. We could only eat and drink like outside in this specified area. We had to keep our mask on everywhere. It was really good because, you know, they were protecting us and nobody wanted to get sick at all. But it was finally my day to audition, and it was on the last day. It was about it was in the evening. It was nighttime already. It was about 8 or 9. I'm around these. Oh my goodness, I forgot the whole reveal about they walk you through on your audition day. There was an interview portion. There was a surprise portion where you walk into this room and they're like, do you know what's behind the door? I was like, I have no idea. I said, it better be a room full of puppies, because that's what I need right now. If you want to surprise me, I need a room full of puppies. And when I walked in, it was this giant IMAX theater screen, and they had my family on the other end. Yeah, and so they were huge, and when I walked in, they had a big reveal, and they just told me how proud of me they are. And of course I know that, but in the moment, you know, wrapped up in seeing my brother, my mother, my father right there, they looked like giants, you know, giving me all this love and confidence. It was it's a picture that, you know, I lived in, and it's seared in my mind, again, those are the most important people in my life. And anytime that I feel nervous or inadequate, which really I don't feel inadequate a lot. I don't feel inadequate often. You know, I've come to know and believe in my worth and my value and what I've got to offer. But when I do have those moments of faulting, I have those moments to revitalize me and revigorate me. But all of that was awesome. They had all of the festivities and things. We're sitting in the waiting area, and then Katy Perry walks across the walkway, and everybody's like, oh my god, Katy Perry. I was like, yeah, this is so cool. She had a cow outfit on that day. and then Lionel Richie like was walking right behind her. I was like, oh my god, you know.
Aw.
And then it was just like a whole thing. That the staff and the crew were so kind, and one of the main things that they had told me was, you know, a lot of people, they're on here and they're really nice, you know, before they go, and if they don't make it, they completely change and they turn into like get the out of my face, and they're like, I hate that. You know, you've seen the things, and so those are people's real reactions. Well, I went in, I sang my song, and you know, I didn't get a golden ticket, but it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful experience. I was a little hurt. I read a book to get ready for this, you know, audition. It was how to prepare for a singing reality TV show, which is what American Idol is, a singing reality TV show, written by Brianna Ruelas, who is an awesome author, and music lover, music creator, artist here in Dallas. She was the author of it. I actually read the book, and then I was able to, because we were connected, and had done a couple of workshops and like coffee table talks together, that I was able to read the book, get the information that I needed as far as like what brand, what's your personality, get your story ready, like all of the things that you need to do to come. It's like going to a picnic and like having all the things you need for a picnic. Otherwise, you're just at the park, like, you know?
Yeah.
And I was able to call her and talk to her about all the things that were going on. So I really had a lot of support around me, like a seriously, a serious team around me. But you know, it was a hit. I was like, man, no golden ticket. I was like, it sorry. I said, I'm so happy to be here, but you know, it'll feel like success when I get a golden ticket. And then after that, if I don't get a golden ticket, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't get the golden ticket, but it still felt like a success when I really thought about it, because there's other auditions that I have made. And the point is that, you know, my father sent me a picture, and this is probably the sweetest part of it all.
Yeah.
My father sent me a picture of when I moved from New Orleans to Dallas because of Katrina. I was in 5th grade. And my get to know you sheet, like my teacher gave me a get to know you sheet so that I could, you know, get to know the classroom. And one of the things was, what's your favorite food? And I was like, sweet potatoes. What's your favorite movie? Goofy movie. What's your favorite TV show? American Idol. And I got that picture, and I'm looking at 9-year-old me. And then that same day, I look down beneath me and I see the American Idol emblem, and I'm on the show. I was like, I've honored my inner child. I've honored that child. Like, I honored little me. And that was like such a full circle. That was such a full circle moment for me. I would lay in bed next to grandma, next to Red, and she would be like, baby, you could do that. Baby, you're so much better than when I was 6, when I was 5. Baby, you're so much better than that person. Or we would laugh at the people who, you know, were like obviously terrible and stuff. We did those things. But even though I didn't get a golden ticket to advance in the show, I know that I had honored myself in that way. And you know, I went back to my room. I woke up in the morning it was the end of the stretch, the American Idol Hollywood week stretch. So I'm getting on the bus to go get on the plane. And what I had known was, when I get off this plane, I literally have a gig that night. So I'm still an artist. I'm still a true working artist and musician out here. This didn't advance so far, but Lord, I did it anyways, you know. And I'm proud of myself. As I was walking to the bus, one of the security guards who whenever I would get lost in the hotel or couldn't find the elevator, there was this big German dude, and his name was Jan. And Jan said he saw me walking to the bus, and I'm talking about, like, I'm 5'8" and 3/4.
Oh,
this
wow.
dude was big. Like, he's a big, like, Hollywood, you know, bodyguard. And so he just got sweet on me because we got to spend some time together. I actually asked him what's his name, actually asked him where he's from. We got to have a conversation and see each other as humans instead of, as like workers or pawns or whatever.
Yeah.
And he ran up, he power walked. I was like, is he about to tackle me? I was like, I thought we were friends. And so he was like, Maya, I was in the room. I don't know why you didn't get picked.
Yeah.
And that took all the feeling of failure or any type of disappointment that I was feeling, zapped it away. And I was just telling him, I was like, it's okay. I'm very grateful for this experience. And I'm glad that we met. And, I did my best. And let's remember, like, this is a reality TV show. One of the things that Miss Ruelas was telling me is that they could have been looking for somebody with a green shirt. They could have been looking, if I'm wearing a red shirt, they're looking for somebody with a green shirt. It could have been that there were already, X amount of people who were in my bubble, like who have my sound or whatever. Like, maybe there just weren't enough spots, or, the game board was full. And so I was telling him, he was like, yeah, but I looked on the schedule so that I could be there in the room where you're there. It just doesn't make sense. And that was very, very, like, I'm grateful that he made the effort, one, to be there, and then to communicate to me how he was feeling about it. It was like the cherry on top of the experience, because I felt like a winner going home on that plane. Yeah. And I was like, pardon?
You are a winner. You are.
Oh, girl. Here comes the tears again. My nose starts tickling.
I'm going to make you cry. Before you start crying.
Right.
Let's perform. Well, not let's perform, but.
Sure. Let's do it. Let's get on it. So. You hop onto that plane, my love. Why did you go so far? I've been feeling every way, my love. Was something torn apart, but I don't think you meant it. I'm questioning everything. Did you move on, or do you still think of me? Questioning everything. Are you long gone? Are you still in love with me? Yeah. Well, I've been reading Holy Word, and from what I can take from Paul is that struggle's all we'll ever know, and that's the comforting part. Wild nights in car rides, it must be wrath from God. I've mixed heaven up with Babylon, no wonder I'm so lost and in the dark. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. Well, I'm still under the moon, and so are you. And I miss being in your arms. This much is true, so true, so I'll be holding on to memories, I'll etch them down in stone, singing melancholy melodies. I'll sing my song so loud and so clearly. I know you meant what you said. We kissed to seal our promises. I can't forget how real it felt, counting down the days till after graduation. Yeah. I'm counting down the days till after graduation. That was a song that I wrote while I was in college about a very long distance love that was totally on the rocks and I wasn't sure about at all, but I felt it so seriously. So that's a song called After Graduation.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. What's your next song?
Well, I was going to perform a song called Garden, but since we were talking about So Far So Much, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Since we were talking about So Far So Much, I wanted to sing the song with those Alan Stone chords, and the song that's still unreleased, but, you know, kind of changed my life.
Let's do it.
I wrote this song in my car. I was coming out of Jamba Juice, and I was so sad because, again, it was heartbreak, which is where the soul part comes in into Sunshine Soul. Thank you, everybody. I was so sad, and I had all these emotions. Like, I went to class that day with like my hood like on and tied and like mascara, like like I was just in economics. I was in economics, like trying to get through it, the class, because I was in pain, like, you know. And it's kind of like a reverse psychology. As I was writing it, I was like, you know, if this happens, I hope you don't do this, and I hope you don't do that, and I hope you don't do that, and just like working through really all of my thought processes of kind of like separating myself from this person and the pain, but then at the end of the day, like, still the pain is there because I still feel you and I'm still connected and I'm still drawn. Like, I hope this does, at the end of it, I hope if you do, I hope you do, you know, come back around. I hope it does come back to life for us. And I think it's interesting. I think it's really cool to explore like the female brain and how that worked and the scenarios that I was going to. But I was at Jamba Juice, and this song came out in 20 minutes. No, not even 20 minutes. I just wrote all the lyrics on the long like Jamba Juice receipt.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't wait to get home. Like, I was just like writing, like sip my smoothie and writing till there was no more receipt left, and I had to get home to finish the song on my notebook and get my guitar going. So I was like, I mean, that's why these songs were borrowed and built upon, because I knew the song. This was a song after I sang this song with Alan Stone, like, you know, I had to learn it so that the next time I could play it, you know. It was a part of my experience, and again, another pivotal point. But these words were falling out, and the emotion was so heavy, it just had to land on something, and these chords were perfect. So I just went with it. There was no real rhyme scheme. It was just, you know, it was this. I hope you never hear this song. If you do, I hope your attention's divided with some other source. And if it's not, well, I hope it's too loud to hear these words. If you do, I hope you don't recognize my voice. That would be crazy, wouldn't it be? Simply can't be true. That would be crazy, silly of me. And if you do, if you just so happen to separate the noise, see my face from my voice, well, I hope you can't recall the sparkles beaming from my eyes like headlights. If you do, don't think too long. Oh, don't pick up your phone. No, that would be crazy, wouldn't it be? Yeah. Simply can't be true. That would be crazy, silly of me. And if you do, don't ask me how I've been, where I'm at, who I'm seeing. 'Cause if you do, I don't know if I'll be able to keep it together. My emotional strings are already tethered. We reminisce on memories we share together. I hope you don't remember how it felt, how it used to be. Oh, I hope it don't reignite your fire for me. No, that would be crazy, wouldn't it be? Simply can't be true. No, really of me. And if you do, ooh, yeah, baby, if you do, but I hope you do.
Oh, so beautiful.
Aww.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful music with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I started laughing because literally playing these songs, it puts me back in the emotions and I feel it in my body. Thank you so much for the time, the awesome questions. My grandma, this was my first time my grandma was on my IG live, and like tight to honor my Nana Piata and like all the things, to talk about my American Idol experience, which I haven't been able to talk to anybody about before, you know, because I just been holding back. And thank you so much, Ashley. Congratulations on 70 episodes.
Oh, thank you so much. This was such a beautiful, honest conversation, and
Yeah.
I just it's so beautiful. It just flowed out. And when we first spoke on the phone a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh my gosh, so much
It
fun.
was easy.
It was so easy.
We gotta stay connected, okay? Like, we gotta stay pinned up on each other, and like we're friends now, girl.
Yes, thank you so much. So do you have any final words for the room?
For the room, I want to say thank you so much. If you guys are in Dallas, I want to make an announcement. I'm going to be starting a residency. Now that the pandemic and I'm fully vaccinated, I'm much more able to be performing out here. I'm going to start a residency where you'll be able to see me regularly at the Freeman, which is a New Orleans-inspired jazz bar here in Deep Ellum. I start on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. I'm calling it Cinco de Mayo, so that you guys can remember where to go. Be at the Freeman. I'm also going to be releasing new music. I have a single. It's titled Pace. I'm going to be sharing the images and the artwork for that and the song very, very soon, coming up next month as well. Stay up to date. Follow me and send me money. Venmo is at Maya Piata. Y'all know how to spell it.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow Maya on Instagram, the website, all that good stuff. And guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow me. I'm Ashley Live. This is Vibin with Ashley Live, and I have incredible musicians just like Maya on all the time. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Have a good night.